Hi friends, welcome back to another session of Thinking on Destiny. Last week we missed a session and welcome back again. We'll start with the re-existence. Before we go further in what Percival is saying in the re-existence, let's meditate on his consciousness and let his wisdom flow through me to every one of us. Thank you. Please sit in a meditative posture. Cross your legs, clasp your hands and close your eyes. Please focus on your in-breath and out. Observe how you're taking vital energy to each and every part of your body through your in-breath. Exhale your negative emotions, discomforts, pains. Fill your body, mind, and spirit. All the positive things. Show your gratitude. The freely available air that we are all taking it granted. Slowly place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds and slowly open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further into the re-existence, let's ask Balagaru to quickly recap what we learned in the last session. Over to you, Balagaru.
Yeah. Thank you, Prasanna. So today I'll cover the section 16 summary, 2 weeks ago, what we have gone through. So here it says, Percival says, it is fortunate that the doer does not remember past life events and persons, and experiences in this life. The reason is, if the doer remembers past life memories, he cannot educate and accomplish what he is supposed to do in this present life. Human personality is same in any life for 2 reasons. One is record of the acts and events engraved on the breath form, and then partly the feeling of the unbroken identity of I-ness of the knower of the triune self. Because of this, the personality is same. The person remembering past lives would carry too much burden of past events to have any freedom of action. He would be ashamed of his, in case if he remembers his past life, he would be ashamed of his meanness, foolishness, hypocrisy, cruelty, and crimes. Knowing the outcome beforehand, he would not be tempted to learn and fail to get the training. So memory is not necessary for the education of the doer. Doer education is important for the progress of the doer to be perfect. Doer education happens under the light of intelligence. It happens during many incarnations in human body. In each existence, it learns something new for its progress. Doer memories are states of feeling and desire of mental attitudes, abilities of I-ness and selfness. Doer memories continue from past life and exist in present life. Example, for some people and kids, they remember without learning multiplication tables, foreign languages, music from their past lives. Sense memory is a repetition and gone in one life. Doer memory is the ability and it remains in next life. Example, having ethical beliefs of self-control, integrity, honor, manners, consideration of others are some of the doer's abilities. The character with which a person is born and his traits, endowments, abilities, tendencies are doer's memories. Development of the doer portion is determined by the ability to do the right thing at right time. There are 12 portions of the doer. In each life, one doer portion comes into the body to re-exist. This portion, guided by its ruling thought, with the doer memories of feelings and desires as the mental abilities. This portion of the doer attached to the organs as they mature in human beings as they grow up. Development of the organs and outside influences affect the doer functioning of the doer. Education of the doer carried out by the light of intelligence. The embodied portion of the doer is drugged by the body and intoxicated by the senses. When this happens, there is no full communication between the existing portion of the body and the 11 portions of the doer that are not in the body. There is a disconnection. When the embodied doer portion suffers, other 11 doer portions also, which are not embodied also, if it got affected. Though only one doer portion exists in the body, at times, surcharge of hope, fear, excitement, illumination happens from other portions of the doer. When a person is in normal state, more of the doer contained in the body than in the diseased state. There are indications of interrelation of the doer in the body with the thinker and knower. Example, voice of conscience or intuition warns against the desires. Example, in critical conditions or disaster situations, one may feel influx of the light or power, or while reading a book, it can also cause identity of himself. In silent moments and in meditation, one may become conscious of his real nature, different from feelings and desires. Or on rare occasions, when one is illuminated, the present disappears without any sensation, leaving in ecstasy, calm, serene, conscious feeling, and beyond the senses. In rare cases, one may be beyond his feeling of identity and time. As human advances, more of the 12 doer portions come in until it reaches perfect self in the body. Human is not conscious of his real I nature. He is only conscious of his name and personality in present life, and the identity, and also his identity. Each cell in our body is conscious unit and functions consciously. In normal human being, the doer is not in communication with the thinker and the knower because of false I, which is caused by the body mind. Human can be trained going beyond false I, which is the illusion, to reach non-embodied portion of the doer. Continued pressure, troubles, hardships, pain, discomfort are experienced through the physical destiny for the training of the doer. Feeling of generosity, patience, sympathy, goodwill come over to man as doer memories from the past lives. The run of human being do not make an effort to find out who and what they are, the real nature. So that's all we covered in the chapter 16.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go back to our section 17, which is almost like last section, I can say. Section 18 is also there, but which is a recap of all these sections. So section 17, It will give you the questions or the answers to the many of our questions. We have like many questions like Babaji sir is always saying that once you become a human, you will not go back. But in some books like Sai Sacharita or any other things, right? Because these are the questions even I asked as the beginner, right? They'll say that, okay, once upon a time he is a human and now he became a goat or something like that. We would have learned the things. And even in some Puranas, you will be getting like, you will be able to see this kind of things, right? So these are the questions that everybody, whenever we are talking about the re-existence topic, we are always getting this type of questions, isn't it? So this chapter is actually answering those kind of questions. Okay, when a re-existence will stop? So first we need to understand that when this re-existence will stop. Because after going through all these lessons, right, what do you understand? When do you think the re-existing will stop?
Perfect balance of the feelings and desires.
Perfect balance of feeling and desires is the one way that you are becoming, your re-existence is stopping. Immortal. Yeah. Once the body became immortal, perfect sexless body, when you're able to get it, then the doer portions re-existence will stop by this doer portion. That's a perfect way. That's a one way. But there is also another way that re-existence will stop. That is the last doer portion. Last, LOST, not last one. Last doer portion. Here, we are thinking that, okay, what will happen if I'm not actually ascending? What will happen? I will again reborn. I have heard these things from many of our meditators or many of these people who have come across in the spiritual plane also, right? They will also say, okay, if not now, next life. If not now, next life. That's what people will say. You must have heard this, right? So here he is saying you will not be given unlimited number of lifetimes. Okay, at some point, like you take a kid, right? Your kid, you will keep on giving a warnings, keep on giving chances that, okay, you must improve, you must do that, you must do this. We keep on saying that. But for anyone, you will say that at a certain point, okay, you are done with it. You go ahead, live with your life. I am not doing it. Will you say that or not? Or you keep on giving an infinite number of chances to your kid? What do you say? Once he became 20, 30,
we say
40,
that's it.
Will you give it?
Yeah.
After 40 years also, will you give the chance that, okay,
No.
I will take care of you? You will not give that, right? You will say that, okay, I'm done with you. Go and live it. Go and live. I have done whatever the sufficient things. Similarly here also, the knower portion of your doer, thinker, knower, right? For that particular portion, the knower portion withdraw its light. If you are not listening, if you are not understanding all the signs, if you are not understanding the signs of that it is giving, the knower portion withdraw its light on the doer. So that doer portion is a lost doer. Okay. So those portions, what they will do, actually, they will be in the hell position. But the hell we talk about, the doer portion which went to the after death is different from the hells of this particular lost doers. If you hear about some Puranas that you will go into the Patala Loka, the something like that, you must have heard, right? So that's what he is saying. The hells inside the earth crust. You're not going up, ascending. The hell there is different from the hell in the earth crust. The luxurious, that is overly excited desires. Okay. The drunkards, drug fiends, the state, these are all the state of lost doer. Regenerating the physical body. They cannot regenerate the physical body because whatever the body that whatever the light that you require to regenerate the body has withdrawn by the knower. The test in which the doers failed. Here, their one test failed. We came to this earth. Here you are failing the chances that you have given, right? Whatever the chances that were given to the doer portion is also failed. So when the chances that were given as a doer portion has failed, you will not be able to re-exist here. So when you are not able to re-exist, where are you going? You are not going anywhere upward. You are going into the downward, that is in the earth crust you are going. There it is a different form you will be living. That's what we are going to discuss today. This is all introduction that I gave. Okay. The re-existing portions of the doer portions stop either when the light of intelligence is withdrawn from your mental atmosphere of the doer portion, when the physical body became immortal. Once the physical body became immortal, the light of intelligence is withdrawn from your mental atmosphere. You became intelligent. Through AIA, you became intelligent. That portion became, that doer, knower, thinker, knower portion became intelligent. So it went into the light of intelligence. So you need not. So at that time, the light of intelligence was taken off. Okay. So re-existence will be stopped because there is no need of focusing on the light, and you yourself became that intelligent unit. So that time you will not get the re-existence. That's a one part that we all know, because continuously Percival is speaking from that chapter 1 to now. He is talking about all these things. So that is clear. The second is when the light of intelligence is withdrawn in certain cases from the mental atmosphere of the doer in the body. Doer in the body. Still the doer is in the body. Doer has spoken of the lost soul. So when they will not withdraw the light when you are when the physical body was dead. When the doer is in the body, that time only that light of intelligence will be withdrawn. So when it is withdrawn, that particular soul is called the lost soul. The doer cannot be lost. Here, the doer cannot be lost. Doer will be there. Where he will be there, what is called the lost soul is only the portion of the doer which in the human body felt itself as a human being at the time the light was withdrawn. The withdrawal of the light happens during the light and never after the death, remember. So you will get to know. Once the light was withdrawn, you will get to know, as a human being, you lost the connection to your thinker and knower. The light withdrawing in the sense, you lost the connection. So that subconscious, somebody talking to us, some connection that from the higher world is lost. That human being will feel it. The last portion of the doer is the remainder portion of the body that can think, but it cannot think beyond the past events. Whatever that you can think is, if this happened, I have done this in the past, so I can do this. That's all. You cannot go beyond your thing and then think and take a decision, because you lost that connection with the knower and the thinker portion. So your thinking is limited to your past things that you already have done. Okay, but only the lines in which the worked in the past, whatever that you have worked in the past and the breath form, right? So only that will have. Conscience will not speak. Conscience will not help you, because you lost that is the light withdrawing, in the sense you lost the connection to you and with your conscience, consciousness or conscience or whatever it is, right? So then basically the portion of the knower contact to the doer is withdrawn. I can say that exactly. The portion of the knower contact with the doer has been withdrawn. It is no more. It is a reflected identity. So you don't have that identity. So the body, mind, whatever the embedded portion that the doer still is having, is no moral understanding, because it just cut off from the knower portion. It has no moral understanding. It will not able to understand these things. It remains there. It remains there, and whatever the things that it has already done, it can do the same repeated task, but it cannot think on its own. Okay. So there are two kinds of lost doers here again. It's not the one. There are two kinds of the lost doers. One is intellectual lost doers, and the second form is the the intellectual form, and the second one is animal kind. There are two kinds of the lost doers. The first type is the intellectual one form. The light is withdrawn. From them also the light is withdrawn. And the animal kind also, who have wasted the available light. Animal light is, they wasted the available light. The first kind are those who have misused the light of intelligence. For what? For what they have misused? Because they are smart. They are very intelligent, and they use all the light, because they know that they are powerful. They can do anything. Once they think that they can do anything. That much knowledge is there for intellectual doers. But for what they are doing, the intellectual doers have been wasted that intense selfishness. Whatever the light that they have is used for intense selfishness, meanness, enmity, injury of the other human beings. Injury of the human beings, and who have used their intellectual powers and developed them, but sacrificed the interests and lives of the others for their own. So they don't care about other lives. They don't care about the other people well-being. So they used all their smartness, all their intelligence just for selfishness, just for meanness, just to grow themselves. So there are people we have seen, right? We have seen, in, not to name anybody, we have seen so many people in our world that they don't care about the other lives, but they can grow anyway. We all feel that, oh, they see, even though they are doing all these things, they are able to flourish well, they are able to earn well, they are able to have all the luxuries. But they are using their light because they have a lot of light, but they are using that light, all that light, for meanness, selfishness. For this also, the light will be withdrawn. They will not be given this light for infinitely. The feeling mind and the desire mind are barely in contact with these lines already in the breath form. So they don't feel for others. Okay, they don't feel for others or anything. That is the first thing. First, intellectual kind. What is the second kind? Animal kind. Who have indulged in themselves in the pleasures in excess. Whatever the light they have, they just use it for everything. That light, that smartness, or that light, whatever is there, they use it for pleasures, excessive pleasures, abandon themselves, unrestrained indulgences. And so they have wasted their life through many lives. Not just one life, they have wasted their life to many, many lives. They just enjoying. So they wasted their lives for many lives until there is no more allotted to them. All the light that they have given was used up. And all the light was used up. So in that case, the contact to the thinker, to the doer, the triune self was broken. So they sworn it, okay, enough. I have given all the light, used like for kids, we say that I have given all the chances, used nothing. I'm not giving any more. Similarly, the triune self will also say, I have given all enough life, you wasted in these lifetimes, I'm not giving any light. So these are the two kinds. One is intellectual kind, one is the animal kind. In both the cases, the life is withdrawn, the light is withdrawn. After the death, the connection of the breath form with the last doer is dissipated at once. And there is no judgment, no hell, no heaven. Imagine. There's no one to take that soul up. There's no one to judge you. There's no one to judge you. This is then they are not showing that what are all the things that you have done, because if you have done some good things and some bad things, some learnings and some not learnings or something like that, then it will show. These are all the things. You suppose if there is a one lifetime you wasted all the life, then also it will show, okay, in this lifetime you have used all your light, but you just indulged in your pleasures and you didn't do anything. So something that it will show. But when you are lost for many, many lifetimes, it will not show. There is nothing to show because every light you have used. So the soul is not lifting upwards. It's not going. So it's not going that judgment kind of thing. It's not going to the hell and heaven portion. So the last doer portion is abstract for the regular re-existences. If you go up, if you learn something, you will re-exist. But it is abstracting because it doesn't have any light, it doesn't have any energy. Light in the sense you can say it doesn't have any energy. Those portions, in turn, re-existence may not re-existence until the last portion again continues to re-exist. Again, we need to gain that light. Until that, you cannot re-exist. You need to gain that kind of energy to have the human form. When you don't have that light to bear the human form, you will not be able to re-exist. This portion is cut off from the communication, from the portions of the psychic atmosphere, from the portions of your mental atmosphere. So what will happen? It will go into the earth crust and it will pass on this soul into the animal bodies. this soul will pass on to the animal bodies because they do not have any kind of energy to think, to do all the things, right? So all the light was withdrawn. This is where a person can become again into the animal. The last year portion is either intellectual or an animal kind, may re-exist in one or once or more in the human form. Then the intellectual kind will be enemies of humanity. Whenever this intellectual kind is happening, right? So they are enemies of humanity because they were not actually helped the humanity, right? So that kind of animal only it will go. The animal kind will be born in idiots. That kind of people will born in the different idiots. Therefore, neither kind will appear again in the human form for a longer period. These animals' forms will not appear for the longer form. But again, here you may say, when it is taking, suppose it is taking as a lion or something like that. So how do you distinguish between the natural animals that are evolving, because from mineral to the plant to animal to human, that's what the evolution is coming, right? So when that is coming, when these last doers are going into the animal side, right, is there any distinction between them? Yes, there will be clearly there will be a distinction, because the natural animals will feel very common because their soul is in the natural animal. Naturally, they are in the animal, so they cast up their desires and the common. But whereas human last doer, when it is going to that this soul will feel out of the body, something different, something it is not my thing. So they feel they will not be comfortable in the animal bodies, because that's not the body that they used from some lifetimes. So many lifetimes, this soul is in the human body. But because it has lost it, right? So in reality, they are supposed to be in the human body, but because of the light was withdrawn, so they went into the. So these two will have definitely they will the way that they feel will have the different thing. So because the animal forms, they just go by instinct, they will eat, they'll sleep, something like that. But human, when it lost, it went inside, it is never satisfied. It will never satisfied in that animal body also. It will never feel at home in their animal bodies, which is the last doer feels it's not natural, it's so unnatural. Natural animals aware of this difference. Oh, this animal is something different, it is not in our thing. So that the animals will feel the difference. The natural do not want this animal for the last doer. They do not want to mix this animal into their group. Since the natural animals are stronger, they drive out these last doer portions separately, because they are all into the one kind of things, and these last doer portions are a different thing. Anyway, they are not able to feel at home in their bodies also. So they try to kill this kind of thing, and this has to be self-protected, because animals will kill this last doer portion because they wanted to self-protect. They are feeling it is something different animal came into their lot. So they try to kill, and it has to be self-protected. And in that self-protection, this continual fear, the soul will live in the continuous fear also, because these animal bodies, it is not getting, it is the fear from the human bodies, and also fear from the fellow animals as well, right? So it is not, and also that soul is not feeling at home in that animal body also. So everywhere it is the problem. There will be a lot of intense hunger will be there. With the full of stomach also, or with the empty stomach also, it feels a lot of hunger, because it was not satisfied the way that it is living actually. That is why it feels so. This animate these ferocious animals, like how they will come is vampire, bats, sharks, certain apes, and large poisonous spiders. Like this, these bodies will go into that. Okay. Upon the death, these bodies, they go into the others like kind. After the time, they are retired into the sections into the earth crust, where they are segregated in a special places. At some time after the things, they will be living in the earth crust also, because they don't want, because even the human body, that enough sufficient light is not there. The animal body, they are not feeling at home. There's a lot of fear. So sometimes these souls will not take the birth at all, and they will be staying in this earth crust. That's where you can relate. What is this Patala Loka? What are the why people are saying that you will be in the darker worlds, all those things, right? You can relate with these things. They will be like they're living in an abnormal form, concentrated miserliness, cruelty, enmity expressed in these animal-like forms. Sometimes they are visible, sometimes they are invisible. Visible when the creatures are active, and invisible when these active melas, when their active melas ceases. If they're, whatever the melas that they have, it ceases, then it will become invisible. Having nothing else to prey on or to injure, they fall upon each other. These things, they fall upon each other and they look each other and escape from each other. So all these are the dark forces that they do in the earth crusts. When one ceases, the another overcomes it. The activity continues until both got exhausted or exhaustion takes place. The place of death and disappearance. So until they got exhausted, so just like aimlessness, they just fight and they disappear. Until they got exhausted, they will fight. Last rare portions of the other kind who have wasted all the light. So these are all the one kind of that the smart people, intellectual people, right? Because how much money you have, you're still doing some things, you're still doing the selfishness, you're doing selfish. These are the people is happening this. And there are other portions of the people like animal kind who have lost or who have used all their light, but still they are not able to progress in their lives, right? So those are the things. The light allotted to them life after life, they used all this life for pleasure, eating, sex, drinks, neurotics, and without giving more return to the service. They didn't serve for the people. They didn't give any service to the humanity. They were just used it. Go into the bodies of animals, which are more or less the harmless. So these people, they just used all the things. They didn't harm anybody when they are in the human life, but they didn't use that light for the service purpose or anything. These people will also go into the animal bodies, but these animal bodies are not harming bodies. They are just more or less harmless bodies. They'll go like monkeys, pigs, snakes, and according to their nature, whatever the nature of the souls, they will go into this kind of bodies. Then they are put into the places inside the earth crust where they swam, having forms not physical, which express their real characters. Okay, so they will be into the physical. These forms are alternatively visible or invisible as usual. The creatures which are active, the bodies will be visible, and the dormant or they lose their shapes and they become fade away. And in the scenery of plants or rocks, sometimes they fade away, so they will become invisible. When something to eat appears, they work up themselves, they woke up themselves and gulp and scoop that. Whenever there is something to eat, they'll try to gulp, because that is what the human being nature, right? When something is there, they want to eat. So that time they'll try to gulp. But they remain unsatisfied. How much ever they eat, how much ever they are doing it, they remain unsatisfied. They are not happy souls because their light was withdrawn. Lecherous ones, lecherous means the more excessively indulging into the sex, are the one most disgusting male and female forms from the few to many feet long. There are few to many feet long, they will be there. The atmosphere so as to cause the vile odors, and they unite by absorbing each other. See, there also they unite by absorbing each other, those souls also. Their origins are groan and howl, and they continue until exhausted. So they will be groaning, exhausted, and they will do this continuously until they got exhausted. They never satisfied, because that excessive pleasure in the sex pleasures, however they do, they never satisfied. Then they become inactive and thereby invisible. They become inactive and so they are invisible. Drunkards, there is another way of the things is drunkards. Those who are having light of intelligence was given, so much money was given, everything, but still you are entertaining yourself into the drinking. Drunkards are in the sponge-like bodies. So drunkards will go when the light of intelligence was taken away, the light was taken away, they will become like a sponge-like bodies, and mostly heads mishappen and disappropriate. So your heads will be not in a great shape. The drink appears whatever the form they desire. The drink appears because they still need the drink. They drag themselves towards the drink. Some never reach it. So they try to grab the drink, but some never reach it. Others drink, but they never satisfied. The quench of their thirst will never satisfied, how much ever they drink in that thing. No, death-like silence prevails. Sometimes, what is this nonsense? So they feel like death-like silence prevails. Because they're drinking, but there's no satisfaction. So they got exhausted in that. So they became invisible. That time they will become invisible. If the human could hear any one of them, the nerve in his body could be shattered and he might become insane. If any one of us can hear those sounds, that the nerve shattered and he became insane, that kind of sounds they will do it. The next one is drugs. Drunkards, we have seen drug fiends are the another section. Their bodies have human form, but the hands like a spider's, claws and leaden faces, hideous and starting with their staring and searching. They want to be taken out themselves and put some other place. They want to, if you somebody taken and put it to somewhere. None of them gets anything of that kind. They keep on taking the drugs, but no result, nothing, no kick, nothing is happening. So their expectation at the same time is disappointment, because even if they are taking the drugs, nothing is happening to them actually. The drugs produce no effect. How much ever the drugs they are taking, they are producing no effects. They shout out their extractions because they shout out, they annihilated, they excited. So all that, everything they do, they get exhausted. No effort. Whatever that effort they are putting, there's no use. So they got exhausted and they'll become invisible in the earth crust. After the rest, after some rest, they try to become act unto the scenes again. These are all the few indications, like what you do, right? It is not that the light of intelligence or the universe or the God, whatever you call, will give infinite number of lifetimes. So don't be in that. Suppose if many people will say, oh, this lifetime I got all the good things, but let me enjoy it. We will see whenever I say something, oh, do this, because you have a comfortable life. Let you use this life for something, do your meditation, raise your energy, all the things. Whenever I try to say, oh, please don't tell. Now I have got all the things that I can enjoy. Let me enjoy this. So if you enjoy, keep on enjoying. This is what is happening. At some point, because you used all your smartness either to indulge into the pleasures or just taken away from everybody and you are using. In both the cases, the light of intelligence will be withdrawn. We have to be careful of that. Okay. And if you are excessively drinking because you have money, you have all the things, so you need pleasure, drink, or drugs. If you are taking also, this is what is happening. When the lost creatures are not active and therefore they are silent and invisible in the atmosphere, which is very frightful because it's a dark place, right? Even elementals which are thrilled at human pain are suffering, shun these places. Whoever the elementals who feel lot of that spokes and all, who feel lot of pleasure when the human is paining, right? Those things also will go here and they will also suffer. The suffering here, the suffering is of the different, is a hell, but this hell is different from that hell. The upward hell is that whatever the hell that you are facing is, that is introspection, that you didn't do well. That's a limited time period. That's a very limited time period. Once you understand, once the soul understands that, oh, I did all the wrong, you feel like that kind of guilt is a hell there, right? That's a human suffering. But here, the hell is, the doers that were hell here is, it's very distorted suffering. They lost the humanity, right? So it is very distorted. You lost that I feeling, right? Where is that? Because you are disconnected. I means what is that I? I is the knower actually. But you disconnected from the knower portion. So you are suffering a lot because you lack of that connection to the knower portion, you suffer a lot. Their state of the lost doers is necessary to stop under downward course. You need to stop. When they get into certain points in that course, they are so low and they cannot pick themselves up again. They will be so low and they cannot even pick themselves up. And so their being in the states serve the two purposes. What is that? It continues until the feeling and desire of the special activities is exhausted, as their near exertion is possible. So drunkard went, so drink, and he went to the invisible because there is no use. So somewhere that feeling and desire should stop. The drinking desire will stop. Oh my God, what is this nonsense that I did it? Somewhere when that particular portion of the doer has come to understanding that we will never touch or something kind of thing, that result, right? That takes we may feel that makes thousands of years in our lifetimes. That's what he's saying. It takes, once you go to the dark forces, it will take long time to come back and to become a human again. Their practices result the suffering and disappointment, and they can never be satisfied. Then these lost doer portions are taken back into the psychic and the mental atmospheres of the doer. So this will be taken. The length of the time necessary for them to reach the state of exertion and to be impressed and cannot be computed in actual time. That's what he's saying. You cannot compute with the actual time because these time seems to be ages and ages. That many years you will be there. However, no portion of the doer can be forever lost. Remember, no portion of the doer can forever you cannot be like that. Somewhere something will click because you have that intelligence somewhere, right? So it will click because until you will become one with the triune self, but it may take longer periods if you have not used it, the thing. The term lost doer is apt because that loneliness, abandonment is so real that the last doer portion lasts so long. So you abandoned from the human race itself. You abandoned. You are not coming to the human race until you learn that in the dark forces, until you learn in that earth crust, until you come out of that I have to earn, or I have to drink, or I have to take the drugs, all these things are excessive indulgence, all those things you have to, somewhere you need to understand, you need to put yourself and know it, this is not the right, then only you will come back. Okay. The doer, these doers have no light, then the rest they have taken will have enabled the last doer portion begin again to correct the tendencies with the resulted in the last. Then the last portion is taken back to the doer when the third re-existence comes to the portion. So whenever this portion try to understand it a little by little, somewhere it will be given a little light to become a human. The AA vivifies this birth form and a new set of re-embodiments and the doer begins. Then it has a connection with that breath form and connection with the thinker. Whatever that you have already given, that will be given to you and started the new doer portion. The orderly and the proper way of the doer to the end its re-existence. So, and regenerate and make the physical body. So then it will start again. So that time, if you remember, if the doer portion remember all the lessons, then this time they will have the faster way of going into the physical body to the immortal, because they have taken the great punishment, right, being in the dark forces. So they will improve and they will just go and they will improve, and then they can make this body as an immortal body. Then the re-existence will stop. This is how the cycle is happening. So it would be unnecessary for the doer to re-exist in the human bodies if it has passed the test. When you are passing the test, when you are actually become the perfect sexless body, you are passing the test. So in that case, the AIA become intelligent. So the triune self is complete. So the orderly accomplishment of intelligence is happen. So in that case, it is done. But this book is concentrating on the other form. Who passed the test, they are becoming one with the triune self. That is fine. But this book is focusing on particularly concerned with the humanity, where the doers, the composed doers, failed the test. All these people are failed the test, right? Those who pass the test are again, they are just going into the triune self. That's not our concern. Okay. The failure was that the desire and feeling of each doer in its man and woman bodies has a sexual union instead of inseparable union of desire and feeling, which is a part of their training. So this is the one. So that particular thing, the feeling and desire things, is the one that you need to conquer. The purpose of the test was the doer to become immune to sexuality and thereby cause the two bodies to re-become so that that male body, female body to become the immortal body, which the body, the doer, is inherited from the triune self of the body. So when that body became a perfect body, then it will become immortal. The immortal body was perfect in the form, structure, and adjustment and the functions. The four brains of the two columns, right? The male and female, the four brain, all the four brains. The column of the column is the triune self and the back. So they united. The curved united in the pelvis and opening in the head. So if you see in the 6D, I think, we will see. I'm not to open the other one. The figure is 6D. Those who have the textbooks, you can see. So they are becoming like the state is becoming the sublimation, and the body becomes refined, balanced units of the four states of the physical body. And this kind of the body, right, is become whatever this kind of the body it became, so it becomes perfect. This perfect body is in touch or in tune with the whole physical form of the life light worlds. Then this body is the doer becomes the triune self. The body is adjusted to each other and they worked in harmony with the whole organization, because all the four worlds, this body is working in the organization. Therefore, the matter of the four worlds responded to the action, senses, nerves, glands, organs, and systems of the body. All together, they are working in union. That's a perfect body. Through the body was not subject to injury or a death and had powers which are unlimited, it had come to be in that state, not any merit of its own, but instrument made so by indwelling the doers. Remember, the body became perfect. Its body doesn't have any of its own. But how that became immortal? Because of the indwelling doer portion has done. It was a perfect only as long as the doer is used, it's perfect. As long as the doer is using it perfect. The body, if I'm using this body perfect, I don't have any other, I'm not actually the overly sexual or anything, something like that. So I'm not getting attracted. I became sexually mortal, that kind of thing. So I don't have that kind of desires. I don't have, I'm not seeking for anything. So I became perfect. In that case, the body didn't do anything, but the doer in this body has done all the things. The doer had passed the test above mentioned. The doers now in the human bodies failed the test, because why we are all in these human bodies is we failed the test. If you pass the test, we will not be in this two column, in this body. We will be in that sexless, perfect body. We would have been there. The state of the body is the measure of the condition that the body inhibits. What is the state of the body? How actually the doer is inhibiting their bodies, right? It is the instrument. The body is an instrument to the doer and is a record of actions that what the indwelling doer portion is doing. Remember that whatever that doer is doing, that is a record. Again, the body become immortal when the doer is perfect. The doer in the body become, therefore, the body, in order to make the body perfect and immortal, the doer should do all kinds of perfect actions. So he should become conscious of his body, of the doer's body. Then they must reclaim the light loaned to them and understand the nature. So to improve their bodies to the sexual organs, so whenever you improve these things, your sexual organs will disappear from the body. So then you are becoming the perfect body. The above body, that body is a pelvic cavity into the pelvic brain. Pelvic cavity to pelvic brain, that body will become the two-column body, right? So this breath form is located in this body, and that body is becoming perfect sexless body. So here the doer, the thinker, and the knower will be in the body. All the three people, the doer, the thinker, and knower will be in the body in the proper stations. The spinal cords instead of the doer being in the kidneys. The doer will be in the spinal cord instead of kidneys and adrenals. The thinker merely containing the heart and lungs, the knower merely containing the pituitary and pineal bodies intermittently. These are the atmospheres of the triune self which are observed by the doer. So your adrenals and kidneys, the doer is not there. Your feeling and desire is not working. You are working with your knower portion. When you are working with a knower portion, you are always doing it a perfect. The physical body is then the triune self by means of three inner beings. What are the three inner beings? Light will be again be the doer, which is absent for low. So the light is in the doer. The light is not in the knower portion. The light is in the knower portion. Doer portion itself. Light will be in three beings of the triune self. That is, the light will be there in the doer, the thinker, and the knower. So that the three portions will be there in the physical body. All the light that was loaned to the doer will be ready to restore the parent intelligence. They are ready to go back to the intelligence. The triune self will be ready to become intelligent and rise its AIA as a triune self. That's how one becomes triune self. Is it clear? With that, we completed section 17. We will see section 18 next. I'm not starting. We still have 10 minutes today. We can discuss more. Pala Garu, Suresh Garu, and whoever is there, please share your things. How do you feel the re-existence portion? When